project financed by the Zongo Development Fund. The Zongo Development Fund was established by the Akufo-Addo government to prioritize and accelerate development in Zongos, considered one of the most highly deprived communities. After 4 years of existence, the fund has made telling impact in many Zongo communities across the country with infrastructure development. Speaking at the closing session of the annual interpretation of the Quran by the National Chief Imam in Accra on Saturday, Dr. Bawumia said the 119 project is just the beginning and there are many more coming.
The Akufo-Addo government also appreciates the special challenges of the deprived communities such as the Zongos and has prioritized acceleration of these communities with specific development authorities. And this is why we established the Zongo Development Fund, and also the provision of ICT centers in Zongo communities is very, very key. So far, Zongo Development Fund has completed 119 projects, infrastructure projects in Zongo communities. 119. And they are going to be commissioning them going forward. And this is just the first stage. More is coming.
Apart from the 119 completed projects announced by the Vice President, 79 more projects are at about 98% completion stage, bringing the total number of projects which will be commissioned soon to 198. The projects include construction of classroom blocks, libraries, ICT centers, health facilities, roads, bridges, drainage and water systems, as well as astroturfs. Dr. Bawumia also spoke about government's effort at prioritizing and promoting education in the Zongos. He said the government last year awarded 40 scholarships to brilliant but needy students from Zongo communities to study medicine, adding that processes have started for another 40 to be sent to Cuba this year.
It is important for us to ensure that our children use these facilities and equipment to their advantage. Beyond the provision of infrastructure and more access to education at the primary and secondary level, our government has also provided several foreign and local scholarships to brilliant but needy students in Zongo communities. Last year, we sent 40 students to Cuba from Zongo communities, deprived and needy students, but brilliant. 40 to Cuba to study medicine. This year, we have just started the process to select another 40 students to go to Cuba to study medicine. Every year, we will continue to do that, and that will build the human capital in our deprived communities.
Dr. Bawumia said the interpretation of the Quran, which was used in the olden days to provide information on education, underlines the importance of seeking knowledge as directed by Prophet Muhammad, and urged members of the Zongo community, particularly the youth, to be inspired by that and take education more seriously.
The tafsir is a forum for spreading and seeking knowledge, and it is in line with the important call of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for education to be taken seriously. Beyond listening to the tafsir, it is important for us to continue to take education seriously in order to transform our communities. In today's competitive technological world, seeking education should be a priority for all. It is a right and a must for all, especially the young ones.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed his profound gratitude to Ghana's workforce for their immense contribution to keeping the country's economy afloat during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to him, their commitment and dedication to service has been significant in adding momentum to the drive towards achieving the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda. President Akufo-Addo was speaking during the May Day celebrations organized by the Trade Unions Congress at their headquarters in Accra. President Akufo-Addo urged organized labor to continue to maintain the prevailing peace by continuing to resort to social dialogue and its engagement with government and stakeholders. He charged workers to continue to give of their best as the country steadily progresses to achieve its Beyond Aid agenda.
My appreciation for the relative industrial peace prevailing currently in the country. This is especially important in the light of the additional challenges occasioned by COVID-19. I know the stable labor environment did not happen by chance, but through our combined efforts as social partners. I commend and salute the gallant workers of Ghana.
President Akufo-Addo was hopeful that by the next celebration of May Day in the country, Ghana would have successfully scaled the dangers of the COVID-19 pandemic and several or all safety protocols will no longer be in force.
I also urge organized labor to continue to resort to social dialogue in its engagement with government and other stakeholders. In all of this, we must not lose sight of our overarching vision, which is to build a Ghana beyond aid. I'm confident that we can free ourselves from a mindset of dependence, aid, charity, and handouts, and build a self-reliant economy which will mobilize the immense resources of Ghana, material and human, with women and youth in the forefront, to resolve Ghana's problems and deliver a decent, dignified standard of living to the working people of our country. I pray that we're able to celebrate May Day 2022 in a much better atmosphere.
For his part, the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. Anthony Yao Ba, says 800,000 workers in Ghana suffered from pay cuts as a result of the coronavirus pandemic on the local economy. Recounting the impact of the virus on workers, Dr. Ba said workers have had to endure hardships induced by the pandemic.
We want to focus our attention on economic recovery and how, together with government and businesses, we can fast-track Ghana's economic recovery in terms of growth and employment creation. In fact, that is why we chose this theme. We are placing special emphasis on the role of social partners, i.e. government, businesses, and workers, because we believe strongly that we can bring our economy back to the pre-pandemic growth path if we deepen social partnership and work together. Organized labor is ready to play its role, Mr. President, in the collective effort toward economic recovery. As I said earlier, we believe strongly that we can bring back the economy onto a growth path if we work together in the spirit of cooperation and partnership. The negative impact of COVID-19 on businesses and labor has taught us, as social partners, to resort to compromise in our relationships in order to revamp and sustain business for our mutual benefit. For us as organized labor, understanding the current dynamics in the business environment will help us to address ourselves to the prevailing situation, thank you, and enable our members sustain their jobs and earn some livelihood. To that extent, we need to continue to sacrifice, as some of our colleagues have already done, to help put our employees' business back on track.
He further revealed that poor housing for workers and delay in the negotiation of a national minimum wage are among some of the concerns the president must address. Dr. Ban assured the president that organized labor is willing and ready to assist government to tackle the scourge of the virus on the economy. Some deserving staff of various unions within the TUC received awards for their meritorious services. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has said the West African Senior School Certificate Examination WASSCE results of the first batch of the free senior high school candidates have justified the decision of the government to invest heavily in free quality education for young people in Ghana. President Akufo-Addo said this when some of the students who excelled in the 2020 WASSCE were introduced to him at the Jubilee House in Accra. Out of the 465 candidates who had aggregate A in 8 subjects in the examination, 411 of them were Ghanaians. Also, the 3 overall excellent awards were taken by Ghanaian students. Some of the students could not, however, honor the invitation because they were currently pursuing tertiary education outside the country in the fields of medicine and engineering, among other courses. President Akufo-Addo indicated that even though the initiative came with a huge cost to the nation, the government took the decision because all countries that had made giant strides in their social, economic, scientific and industrial sectors did so by investing more in education.
This is one of the happiest days of my life in this place since I came here. Took a lot of bashing, I'm sure. You were young then, I don't know to what extent you followed, but I took a lot of bashing. Gimmick, totally unnecessary, waste of money. But I was convinced that it was something that we had to do because the development of our human capital as rapidly as possible. That is the surest way for the transformation of our nation. To learn that the first country in the world to institute a system of free senior high school was the United States of America. America did it at the beginning of the 20th century, long before it became the America of today. If we were really going to cut the Gordian knot of development in Ghana, investing in the youth of our country and the young people of our country was our surest way to doing so.
President Akufo-Addo further expressed his elation over the performance of the students when the results were released.
So when your results came out, you have to know that the happiest person in Ghana, well, not even your parents, was me. I was ecstatic. And when I was told what your achievements had been, 465 people in your generation, the WAEC exam, who had achieved 8 A's, 411 of them were Ghanaian. Wow. I was beside myself. And then the icing on the cake, the 3 excellent students, the ones who won the Excellence Awards, of which number 2, I believe, is here with us. All 3 were also Ghanaians. It means that the investment has been worthwhile. And we're going to continue with it. We're going to make it a permanent feature of our educational system, the senior high school, the free senior high school, and make it possible for every young person who wants to study and grow to be able to do so.
He said even though the students wrote the examination through the difficult period of the COVID-19 prevalence, they had proven the investment made in them was worthwhile, adding that the free SHS is going to be a permanent feature in the country's educational system. President Akufo-Addo further said a person's talent could only be unearthed when offered opportunities such as government had done with the free SHS policy.
One of the things too that as a nation we have to realize, the talent, ability, hard work are not societal, class, ethnic, regional monopolies. The student, the young genius who's going to transform our lives in Ghana can be anywhere. As I've seen from here, people from various, even from listening to your names, I see that you come from all different parts of our country. And it isn't because somebody's parents is wealthy that therefore means that the child is necessarily gifted, not at all. But if you don't open the opportunity, you'll never know who has the genie in them.
The president commended the students for making the country, their parents, and himself proud and urged them not to relent on their oars but continue to study hard to realize their vision of becoming what they wanted to be in the future.
I speak for myself, I speak for the country in saying that we're very, very proud of your achievement. And you had to do it in very difficult circumstances with this COVID and all the disruptions that it brought about. But you persevered. And you justified the investment that has been made in you. You took seriously the opportunity that had been given to you. And today, I see all of these very important decisions you have made. So many of you are going to become doctors, somebody's going to become an engineer, and you're going to give us the human resource that we need to develop our nation.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, for his part said the students did not take the huge investments in them for granted. Each student, he said, was provided with free school uniforms, food, accommodation, and 4 core textbooks, while their school libraries were also stocked with the recommended textbooks.
It's a rare opportunity to be here, Mr. President, to show you the early fruits of your labor in terms of students who have really demonstrated that they did not take your investment for granted. Mr. President, when you introduced free senior high school, you provided free uniforms. You provided free food, accommodation. Every student was given 4 core textbooks. You also provided elective textbooks for the libraries. Mr. President, one significant thing that you did was intervention grants, which enabled students to have extra tuition by teachers, for which you rewarded the teachers. Mr. President, special training were offered for teachers to improve their skills so that they could truly assist the students as you required. Mr. President, in spite of the COVID-19 situation, these students were able to show that they truly appreciated your efforts. For the first time in many years, their performance as a whole was something that was distinguished them from the rest who have come before them.
Some of the students shared their thoughts with NET2 TV News.
Today has been a very august day. I'm very happy about it's an honor being here, being invited by the president, and he appreciating us. It's a great honor. I was extremely happy because I put in all my efforts, and I was glad that God crowned my efforts with this success. I was really happy, and I was grateful to all those who have contributed immensely to this achievement. Right? So I'm pursuing medicine, so I'll not relent my resolve to do greater things. So I'll continue with that same attitude, that same hardworking attitude. I'll continue and even press on harder and make Ghana and the whole country, the nation, the whole world proud of me.
We're very excited, very ecstatic to have produced such good results. But first off, it means so much to us because, as the president said, it was his flagship policy and it was something dear to him, and he had to make a conviction in doing so, in bringing up the policy, because there were so many odds, but then he defied the odds and he brought up the policy. And by God's grace, the policy yielded good fruits. We are testimonies to that. And so we are very, very grateful to the president, and we are also happy that this was possible. And it does place a heavy I shouldn't say burden, but responsibility on us to actually do our very best to make our nation proud, to make our presidents proud, to make the Almighty proud, because we owe it to them, all medical students, and we are hoping to excel in whatever it is that we find ourselves doing. And we would like to tell the next generation that hard work always pays.
Education Minister Yao Educhum, also in an interview, reiterated the essence and value of the free senior high school scheme.
Today we brought 8 students who have distinguished themselves on the WASI to see Mr. President. In fact, it was at his invitation that he see the young men and women of great talent who have made this nation proud. As you may be aware, out of the 465 students who got 8 A1s on the WASI, 411 were from Ghana. A great accomplishment. The president decided to meet some of them at the top 10 to congratulate them. And one thing is also that the top 3 students in West Africa were all also from Ghana, all the 3. And one of them was here today. We have young men and women who have distinguished themselves, and majority of them women. Among the top 10 who attended Wesley Girls, there are some from Presec, one from Kumasi Anglican, and one from St. James. They are all here to show us that the investment that the president made in Free Senior High School was worthwhile. And this is the first fruits that we are harvesting, and it makes all of us very proud.